last thing to go over is how to deal with the jalapeno. So you're gonna share a jalapeno with someone else because a full jalapeno will be really aggressive for this batch of pico de gallo. So here's how we do this though. So just like everything else, we're gonna make one big cut and open the jalapeno up the long way. We're gonna hold the knife like this. No, no, yes. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing as we did with the lime and the tomato and the onion. And we're gonna do kind of like a bridge. It's hard to see at this angle, I know, but, and then we're gonna put the knife right down the middle and we're gonna cut her right in half. Okay, so there is our jalapeno. We give this to a friend and we have this to work with for ourselves. So a couple things to point out with the jalapeno. The seeds are the spicy part. So we do want to eliminate them. And they also just don't make us for a super clean look in our pico de gallo. And that's what we're going for, really clean, really nice intentional cuts. We also want to remove this white part, and the white part also has these kind of ribs that run down the inside of the jalapeno. We want to remove that because it's a little bit bitter. So we're going to do the same thing as we did kind of with the tomato and use the tip of our knife to cut a little V-shaped notch right in the end of our pepper. We're going to pull that out, and then we're going to use the tip of our knife to kind of cut out this membrane, these pithy little bits of jalapeno. So we're going to discard that, and then we're going to do the same thing. Get rid of the seeds, scrape those little guys out, and we'll do the same thing on this side. Okay. If you're having a hard time kind of getting this middle bit, you can kind of cut on one side of it, and that might free things up a little. So that looks nice and neat. We'll kind of come along with the knife. And remove that. Okay. Okay, so we've got some nice clean jalapeno. I'm fine with just a little bit of this membrane remaining. That's okay, but there's really not much to it. All right, so just like we did with the tomato, we're gonna cut long strips. So, and I want these to be really, really small, guys, okay? I know some of you may love spicy. I know that's how you want it, but in this case, I need you to do it this way so that you can demonstrate that you have really good knife control. It's also kind of like saying, to Mr. Clausen, yeah, I know that the note is a C, but I'm gonna go ahead and play an F sharp just because I like the way it sounds, right? Like we wouldn't do that in another class. And same thing for culinary. It's important that you follow the cuts that you're asked to do because we're looking for a specific skill, not to make your mouth happy so much. So, I mean, that's important. That's a nice side effect, but really I'm looking for you to demonstrate the knife cuts. So important that you get these nice and small. Okay, so here we go. We're going to use more about the center of the knife this time. These are pretty thin. Okay, you can almost see through them. Not sure. Here we go. Really, really small cuts. Okay. Then we'll do the same thing with the other half of the half. Really, really small cuts. Okay, so we've got some nice long strips of jalapeno. This is not what we're going for in pico de gallo. We want itty bitty little crunchy little bits of nice peppery jalapeno. So we're gonna stack that into a nice little pile, and we're gonna come back with our knife and make things really, really small. So there's no seeds, there's none of the bitter membrane, and we're gonna go, look how small those are. Okay, very, very small. Same thing. This is not about speed right now. It's about being really intentional and really accurate. Okay, we'll work on speed stuff later, but now is the time to work on just technique and not leaving anybody with a big bite of raw jalapeno. Okay. You can see what we're working with there. Okay, nice. There's nothing big. There's nothing that's going to hurt your feelings. Okay, all right, so we have our jalapeno, or our pico de gallo. We've got onion, we have cilantro, we have the lime juice in, and we'll just top it off with the jalapeno. She's looking good. Give her a little stir. Okay, so what I'm hoping that you're kind of seeing is that everything is very uniform, really consistent. Okay, now here comes the part where I'm not, I'm pretty specific in what I'm asking you to do most of the time. This is where I'd like you to use your judgment. I'm going to ask you to finish seasoning this just with some salt and some pepper. So it's going to be really important that you taste it. So we're going to use tasting spoons for that. And you'll know it's right when it's right. Here's how I'm going to do it though. I've lost everything. Hang on. So we're here at my house and I'm just going to we're going to use some kosher salt, and I'm going to start. This can actually probably handle more salt than you probably would expect. That's probably about half a teaspoon. And then I'm going to give it a couple grinds of fresh black pepper. And then I'm going to give it a little taste. I think it's good, but it can use more salt. So I'm not going to use that. Just a little pinch. Another couple turns. And I think she's ready. So in class, I'll have some chips for you to enjoy this. You're going to show me. We're going to take a look at this together. We're going to taste it together to see how you did for seasoning, and just talk about your knife cuts. So pico de gallo, pretty simple, but we need to be really intentional with our knife cuts, and we need to just practice good knife etiquette and good knife skills, and everything should be great.